Well, good evening, gang, and welcome to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I'm your host. And to my right and to your left, of course, is the lovely Julia Perciasepe. Hello, Julia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How are you enjoying this weather? What beautiful couple of days.
I have mixed feelings about it because I'm having major allergy attacks. So,
Oh, you're one of those.
I didn't used to be one of those, but I apparently have become one of those. So.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But it's still beautiful.
It is beautiful. And we are coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at BNN TV. And you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290. The great staff of BNN, I mean the great staff of BNN are in the other room answering the phone. Dave and the gang, Hillary's in there, working hard with us today. We really appreciate everything that they do for us. We've got quite an exciting show tonight.
I know, lots of commotion.
Lots of commotion. I've created another chapter in my, well, I'm not going to call it illustrious. I don't think illustrious would be the right word to use tonight. But no, we have a great children's group is in tonight.
Yeah.
They've got spoken word going on. We've got dancing going on, and we've also got a great filmmaker too.
Yeah.
Here's going to be here to talk about it.
Culkin, yeah.
Yes, talking about a project that he's working on now. This is going to be great.
I know.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
What did you do? Anything exciting for Mother's Day?
Yeah, went to brunch, took a walk in the park.
That's nice.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of babies and moms out and flowers and it's just kind of
our Janice decided to take the day and she went down the Cape with one of her best friends.
Happy Mother's Day.
If you want to give me a nice Mother's Day, clear the driveway, make sure that no checks bounce and get out of the way. Yeah, so it was very nice for her. And but the kids came by anyways and dropped stuff off, so that was very, very nice. It's great and good to see all of those people. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Good.
What's new and exciting? Anything?
Oh, just working and not much.
One of the things that we want to talk about is we got a lot of huge response from last week's show. My email that night started coming in about the High Park show, about the High Park show. People were very, very involved. I got all these, how do I get in to see the art? I want to do it. Who do I contact? So it worked out really, really well.
Awesome.
It was nice. And last Saturday night, I went up to see the great Zen Armada, which is a kind of progressive rock standard. I mean, it's hard to put a nail on them.
Okay.
But it's two guitars, bass, and drums, and they were out of this world. They were
now,
great.
where did you see those?
At the Paradise Cafe up in Dedham.
That's your favorite.
I love that place. I mean,
Spot.
It's the sandwiches. No, it's the music, and I was quite honored. I got to do sound for it.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So it was very, very exciting to do that.
Now, what does that mean? You're
I make
playing
sure
with all those knobs.
I get to turn those knobs.
I always see that
everything.
at concerts, and I'm like, man,
that guy's the busiest. He's busier than the bass player. I got to tell you, there's a lot of work before and after because you're setting up and you're doing all kinds of different. I don't know. It's kind of really cool.
Yeah.
And Friday night, I was the host for the big benefit for the Rosendale Day Parade, the 39th Rosendale Day Parade, and they had a talent show.
Okay.
16 acts.
And?
Of kids dancing and kids singing and
all kids?
No, all ages. All ages.
And who won in your eyes?
The ones who won. They're the ones that won. It's a great honor to be asked to do those kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's so great.
It's one of the things I enjoy doing is hosting, events. I get to, get to call out the numbers of the raffle. I get to call people up to thank them and stuff like that. So it was kind of a lot of fun. And I have one more thing.
Oh, okay.
Saturday, I went to a Buddhist ordination.
Oh, interesting.
Good friend of ours, Terry Beta, was ordained as a minister in the. I still don't fully understand what happened, but there were just. I know that she's very, very faith-driven and.
So she is a Buddhist.
Yes, meditation. And all of this and Reiki and all of the stuff that goes along with it. and she invited just a handful, and I was so honored to be involved in it.
That's very cool.
Her husband Ahmed and Terry are good friends of Janice and mine, and so I got to go there. Take your shoes off and walk in, kind of sit on pillows and quiet. Everybody laying hands and stuff. It was very, very beautiful ceremony.
Was this in Boston?
Yes, it was in Brookline, on Brookline Avenue.
Oh, okay.
There's a meditation center there.
I've been there.
And well, that's where we were.
Shambhala.
Yes, Shambhala. Upstairs, we walked up the spiral staircases upstairs to the meditation
It's a beautiful room.
And I was kind of thrown. I went in not knowing what was going to happen. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Reiki hand. Get your hands off me. But
Reiki's great.
that's what I understand. So you're into all that stuff too.
Well, not religiously, but I do enjoy meditation. I have been to the Shambhala Center. They have these kind of open, I think it's like Tuesday or Thursday nights. You can go and just kind of experiment with practicing meditation and learning about the Buddhist practices.
Yeah.
And then I've also had Reiki, and
I need to know more about it.
In all
I need to know more about
it
because I think it's half the world can't be wrong.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, we all have our own beliefs, and
yes, we do. That's what makes it cool.
That's what makes it cool, and exploring and being curious about those other beliefs is what it's all about. And
you didn't do anything cool but go for a walk in the park. See, if I'd have known, I'd have brought you with me to the Shambhala Center because Janice
cool
couldn't
place.
go because we had the grandkids this weekend too.
Nice.
So I went to dance class Saturday morning. I can't tell you. I'm sound asleep right now. I'm napping.
Oh gosh.
It was that kind of weekend. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about where people can see this show. The show's going to be on pretty soon. We're live tonight. You can give us a call if you want. We're at 617-708-3290. And if you want to see the show later,
you can go to YouTube. Our channel is It's All About Arts 1.
Yep.
And you can also check us out on Twitter at It's All About Arts. Give us a tweet. Tell us what's going on artfully in your life or around town.
Yeah. That's how you communicate with us. Let us know if there's anything on Julia's World you want us to cover, or if you can want to request a guest for me. Big game tonight at up in the Bruins are playing. Are you following the Bruins hockey?
No.
I almost got in trouble when I'm running sound at this place, and I had my little thing set up next to the mixing board with the Bruins game on it. I said, oh, dude, hope I don't get in trouble.
I just assume the Bruins are doing well because
they're doing very well.
I feel like they're
still
at least
playing,
my
and it's
time in
hot
Boston, they've done well.
They're doing really, really well, and thank you. Thanks to them, everything is still exciting and what have you. So, any films coming up we need to know? We're going to talk to Brian, right?
We're going to talk to Brian.
Yeah.
He's not one of DER's filmmakers,
okay.
but he licensed some footage from us for his film, which is about two basketball brothers in Mission Hill. So very
great.
Local.
Very local. That's great.
Yeah, so he'll tell you all about it.
Excellent.
And we've struck up a friendship, and I asked him to come on. And
you can ask anyone you want to come on.
I know.
Yes. That was part of the agreement, right? I can bring guests on if I want. Well, we're very, very excited. The Hawthorne Community Center is here, and we're going to be getting to them after Brian, but we are going to do Julia's World.
We are.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break so we can get Brian in here on the set and find out some of the cool and great things that he's doing.
Yep.
Listen, gang, if you want to participate, give us a call, 617-708-3290. Hillary and the great gang, and Dave and the other gangs are in the other room answering phones. So listen, gang, we'll be back in just a very few seconds. Please do not go away. You're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. We'll be right back.
standing over there just the other afternoon, hidden by shadows, waiting for a man, hidden from the sun, for a man that never comes, like a race that's never run. As the road widens, and it almost always will, you look upon this day, the outlook will broaden as you find it wasn't you, growing from a place with a bright and happy face, better trained to run that race. Answers never heard, feeling so absurd, empty, lost, confused, and blue. Phone calls not returned, lost and so concerned how to cope. Old friends will pull you like a race that's never run, like a bell that's never rung, like a song that's never sung.
Gang, thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us. You are watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I want to remind everybody that if you want to see this show, this time tomorrow night, this show will be up on YouTube, and the YouTube address there is It's All About Arts 1 is the way to get to that. And if you have any tweets you want to send us, you can do it at It's All About Arts on your Twitter account. And right now, it's my great pleasure. It is time for Julia's World.
Hey guys, thanks Glenn. Welcome to Julia's World. I'm going to be really quick because we have a lot of things to get to. First, I want to mention on Saturday, May 17th, there's a lot of things going on, but at 7 p.m. at Via Victoria Center for the Arts, it's their annual Plenazo Primavera, which is an annual event to celebrate spring, and it takes place at the Via Victoria Center for the Arts. Via Victoria is a historic affordable housing unit in the South End that was developed by some community activists and specifically Puerto Rican community activists. And so this event will have salsa and drums and traditional Puerto Rican food, and it'll be a really fun night. And that's again at 7 p.m. and it benefits the Humano Multicultural Program. So go support them. And if you want something a little more chill that night, check out Mr. Hip. It's a monthly reading series that features spoken word, poetry, live music. And this month, the May reading is happening at the U-Forge Gallery, our friends in JP. And that is happening from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Also on May 17th, U-Forge Gallery. And if you're a poet or a musician and you're looking for an opportunity to display your talent, get in touch with them because it's a great venue to get started. And you can contact our program coordinator, Joanna Flaminio, at joanna@mrhippresents.com. And lastly, this is a big event that happens every year. It's the 21st annual Earth Fest downtown in the Hat Shell. And there's going to be some really fun events. It's a great place to bring your kids, learn about the environment and green living. And the band Neon Trees is going to be headlining along with, playing along with some local bands, the Whalers. So if it's nice, it should be a really good time. And that starts at 11 a.m. at the Hat Shell. And that's all I have for you today. Back to you, Glenn.
Thank you very much, Julia. That was great. Thank you very much for being here with us. We appreciate all that you do for this program. It's been great having Julia on. It's coming up on 6 months, Sal, and Julia's done a great job for us. Listen, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to filmmaker Brian Culkin. How'd I do?
You're good, man.
Brian, how are you, brother?
Nice
Thanks,
to see you, man.
Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it.
No problem. My pleasure.
When someone says filmmaker,
Yeah.
is that kind of like, is that the correct title? I mean, there's so many different titles that come along with producing videos and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a title.
Does that
could be
cover a
adequate.
lot of hats?
Yeah, it does. I think in an independent documentary like this, there's
Yeah.
a few different functions that I kind of played the role on, but I think filmmaker is kind of an all-encompassing term that describes multiple functions that happen in the production of a film.
What got you into being wanting to do documentary films, or was it something you got in school? Was it actually Final Cut 4 that made you decide you wanted to do this thing?
Now, I have a background academically in philosophy and American history, and professionally I was in finance before I made the transition into film. But this film that I've directed, The Mission, it's a documentary film that traces the development, the historical development of the basketball culture, the really robust basketball culture in the public housing project of Mission Hill. And I have a background in basketball as well.
You play?
I played in college and played professionally over in Europe, actually. So I had a very intimate knowledge with basketball, and even Mission Hill. I played there a few times when I was in high school. And I thought the story of Mission Hill, not only the basketball, but the neighborhood itself was fascinating.
It certainly is.
Yeah, so I thought it would be a really good place for me to kind of cut my teeth because I knew it, and I felt like I could represent it artistically, even though it was my first film. Yeah.
Now, this is your first film?
Yeah, this is my first one.
Oh, that's great. Well,
Yeah.
Congratulations,
thank you.
first of
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
for breaking through.
Yeah.
And where is the film going to be shown? Where can people see this?
Well, the film has been shown 3 times publicly so far. We had a first showing at Northeastern to about 600 people at the Blackman Auditorium.
fabulous.
Yeah, it was great. And then we did one at Wentworth, and then we did a small one just at the Tobin Community Center over in Mission Hill. And what we're doing now is, we kind of wanted to show the film publicly a few times, get some feedback, and now we're kind of doing some slight post-production stuff. And then we're probably going to start to submit it to festivals in the fall. We're looking at Tribeca. We're looking at a couple other ones as well.
Is that something that's generally done with people that are running documentaries or even featured films, I suppose, kind of grab a small group and kind of show it to them and then maybe go back and
I think it
cut a
is.
scene or something?
I think that Hollywood, even for their big productions, they have testing groups that they show films to get initial reactions of certain scenes.
When you say post-production,
Yeah.
do you mean you actually go in and kind of bring out the solenoid and start chopping things up and looking around what's left on the floor?
I mean, 90%, or even, well, I mean, the film technically now could be shown in full, but we think that with the response we had, which has been so overwhelming, and because of the fact this is a national story, I mean, the way basketball in the post-war decades developed in Mission Hill was very similar to how it developed in Harlem or Southside Chicago or St. Louis. I mean, the historical factors were in play, the economic factors were in play, and Mission Hill in a 30-year period, 9 NBA players that were drafted from this little tiny housing project.
I know.
I mean, that's, I say often it's kind of like a sociological miracle that this happened. And I think that what this film does, it kind of brings forth, not necessarily basketball, but the factors that were in play around basketball that helped create this intensification of talent that developed. I mean, you had literally NBA players living above each other in these public housing projects. I mean, it was just incredible.
Is basketball the game because of economic restraints that some people may be living under? I mean, basketball and sneakers, right?
Yeah, I think that there's no question. I think that's kind of a complex answer, but I think basketball economically is way more easy to play than baseball or football Soccer is actually just as easy,
Yeah.
but soccer doesn't function well in cities. It
You
functions
got
more.
to score more.
Yeah, but basketball, from just the innate nature of basketball, it functions very, very well in small, contained spaces.
Well, you can put the playing field in a small area.
Absolutely. So, you know, you'd have like a little court in a project, and there'd be, you know, hundreds of people surrounding the court, and you'd have this, you know, these intense flows of people and, you know, this talent developing and merging and creating just unbelievable, you know, connection and talent in the basketball community. So I think basketball, the reason why it flourished so deeply in urban centers after the Second World War was because, A, it's very cheap, and B, because it functions socially in small spaces, like in a small little playground. It does well.
Right.
Yeah.
How far back do you go in the film?
The film goes back to the origins of the public of Mission Hill. People moved into Mission Hill in 1941, the project itself. So we kind of take it back in the beginning to public housing as an act by the federal government in 1937 that was designed really to uplift people. It was designed to build new housing that was going to be...
Building communities.
Building communities.
Yes.
And building housing that was actually quite a step above a lot of the cold water flats that were present in Boston at that time. And, you know, all these projects in Boston, Old Colony, Old Harbor, Mission Hill, Orchard Park, when they first started out, they were places that you really wanted to be at.
Yeah.
I mean, these were places of middle-class families. They were places that had, you know, back then, you know, hot water, that was a big deal in cities,
Sure,
you know?
sure.
And by the 1980s, these places had deteriorated, and it was essentially socially chaotic, economically destitute, and there was all these problems that were contained in these public housing, mainly because of, you know, bad management. You know, that was one thing.
Yeah.
But also, too, the economy of the city went through a drastic change. I mean, in the even the 40s, let's say, the American city was the seat of industrial production in this country. And by the 1980s, the entire manufacturing base of America had basically, you know, now it's in China. It doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So that created just a ripple of devastation, of social devastation, of economic devastation. And paradoxically, basketball flourished in that time because of the reasons that we talked about before.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, you know, I also think that one of the things that we've noticed today, anyways, you talked about the deterioration of a lot of our public housing. There has been a swing to renovate and fix a lot of these. For Beach Street, for instance, in my hometown, Rosendale.
Yeah.
They spent a ton of money. Orchard Gardens, they fixed
Yeah.
everything up over there. So they are turning back into desirable places to live.
They are, but, you know, that's kind of a complicated thing, too, because the city itself, now, it's changing so dramatically in the sense that, you know, like the public housing projects of the early 40s, they were designed for working families, you know? And now, because the city is changing, for instance, basketball in Mission Hill now, and the film deals with this towards the end, is virtually non-existent because that whole area along Parker Street has become so gentrified and become so different from the initial community that was there. Basketball, not just in Mission Hill, but the city at large, is actually right now going through kind of a crisis period. And I don't think if people even realize that.
Well, does the BNBL, Boston Neighborhood Basketball League, does that help at all?
I'm sure it does, but I think that the forces in play are so much bigger than Boston neighborhood basketball. And I think that, you know, basketball, the cultural dynamics that made basketball so strong, for instance, in Harlem, you know, it's $2 million to buy a place on Lexington Avenue. I mean, it's incredible. So the cultural dynamics that were present in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that made basketball an inner city game are now in the process of being reversed, where basketball is being exported out of the city into more rural and suburban communities. So it's really like a full circle story. You know what I mean? In terms of basketball, I mean, it's incredible because we've associated basketball with inner city for so long culturally in America. It's almost become, you know, kind of the kid in the playground is almost like an American archetype, you know, socially. And that is actually in the process
kids
of...
today need uniforms, the right kind of numbers, the expensive cleats and everything else.
Yeah, it's amazing.
When I go, when I was a kid, well, the first 9 kids that got there were playing. You know, and you had to work your way into the lineup, you know? That's just the way it was.
Hyper-organization of youth sports,
It's really
it's, in my opinion at least, it's really destroying. But also technology, too. That is a big piece in it, too. I mean, kids are
I can
on their
play
phone.
at home.
Yeah, so there's all these factors going on. But I think, too, what the city means. And like in the 60s, people wanted to get out of Dodge. People were leaving the city in record numbers.
Yes.
And now it's the exact opposite, where people want to be in the city. Right. So that's creating, at least in the basketball culture, kind of a reversal of fortune, so to speak.
Now, I'm with the Boys and Girls Club over at Orchard Gardens, and this sounds like something I want to show my kids.
Yeah.
What does someone have to do? This is an inner city story. This is every kid in my building is going to identify.
I think so.
With this
yes.
story. What do we have to do?
So we're in the process right now of we're raising some funds to do the final post-production changes, which I think are very important because I personally believe this film has the potential to be a nationally seen film because like I said, the story of Mission Hill is the story of, New York and Baltimore and all these places. And even though the locality is different, the macro forces are the same. So I think by the fall, I would love to do showings all around Boston and open this film up to people in the community, and using basketball as a visual aid to look at the whole social structure of a city is kind of interesting. You wouldn't think basketball could give so much insight into the processes of a city, but in the case of this film, it really gives insight not only into basketball, but into public housing, into the economy of the city, into the different social forces that were in play in Mission Hill and Boston at large. So there's just a lot of things there that are interesting way beyond basketball.
That's great. Brian, listen, can we have you come back?
I would love to.
The closer you get to your big launch and stuff, maybe,
that would be great.
Maybe bring a clip in next time. Maybe we can really kind of get it spiced up and out.
That would be wonderful.
Brian, thanks an awful lot for being here. I really appreciate it, dude.
Okay.
Listen, we're going to be back in just a couple of seconds, guys. We've got some dancing and some poetry coming up. Some of our younger citizens are going to step right up here and give us what they've got. So listen, don't go away. You're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams. We're coming to you live from Studio B. We'll be back in 1 minute. Thank you.
There comes a time when everybody needs to be with someone. Well, now's the time when I have realized you're that someone. How could I have been so blind when you have been there all this time? I need you, I want you. Can I have you by my side? 'Cause I love you and I want you. Can I have you by my side? How could I have been so blind when you have been there all this time? I need you, I want you. Can I have you by my side? 'Cause I love you and I want you. Can I have you by my side? Yeah. take a real close look at all the things that you've done for me.
Well, welcome back, gang. Thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us. You are watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. We're very, very proud to be coming to you live from our Studio B. One thing I do have to mention is that we are very, very proud of our affiliation with the Boston Main Streets program. Boston Main Streets is an organization that helps revitalize the business districts around the city, and they've been supporting us for many of these years. We really do appreciate their affiliation. I also want to take a second to mention this amazing building that we're in. We're in cable access here, gang, Boston Neighborhood Network, and it's here for you. If you're interested in coming and doing programming, talking about your nonprofit, getting your mission statement out and around, this is the place to come and do it. If you go to www.bnntv.org, click on Janice Williams' name. She can get all the information that you need to become a member here. Also, this show is streaming live there at www.bnntv.org. And if you have someone outside of the city that wants to see something really amazing in a couple of minutes, give them a shout. Let them know that they can log on right now and see us. And right now, it is my great, great pleasure to introduce to you Marshall, right? Rayner. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you very much for coming. And Yvonne Powers, how are you, dear?
I'm well.
It's great to see you both here. Thank you. You're both with the Hawthorne Community Center?
Hawthorne Youth and Community Center.
The Hawthorne Youth and Community Center. And that's located?
We're in the Highland Park neighborhood of Roxbury,
Okay.
not far from Marcella Park. That might be a landmark for people.
Now, you're on the board of directors there. You've been
Yes, I
serving
am.
as a board member. Thank you for your commitment to our younger citizens in this community and in the city of Boston. I think that it's people who actually step up to the plate and get noticed and get recognized, I think, makes this whole thing very, very happen.
I agree.
You know, and Yvonne, you are a supporter. You are the reason why this group is here today. I want to shout out and thank you very much. No, the super producer Janice told me all about it. I know how.
Well, I'm very proud of the work that the Hawthorne House has done.
Yes.
And thank you for having
No,
us.
no, it's great to have you here, and I love I work with kids all day long, and so I know exactly the feeling you get when that aha moment kind of hits things. Tell me a little bit about the community center. What's going on?
Well,
over there?
Hawthorne is celebrating its 41st year of community-based programming. We're a nonprofit. The arts gives us an opportunity to really teach children some skills, some collaboration, and help them express their creativity. We're well known in the community. We've shown in the Gardner Museum. We're always in First Night.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have our artists that range from 5 to 85. We have teachers who are in the community. So it's really a family event.
How long has the program been in the community?
We are
It's celebrating 40 years.
41st year.
Yes, that's fabulous.
So we have alums who are helping us.
everywhere.
Right. And as part of our 41st year celebration, we're also having a garden party this
Yeah,
weekend.
tell me about that. That sounds
Right.
very exciting.
This weekend at 88 Lambert Avenue. I don't know if you're familiar with the garden girl, Patty Moreno, and her producer husband,
Yes.
Robert Patton Spruill. And
Sure.
we'll be having our little garden party on Saturday from 5 to 8.
Great.
We've got silent auction, food, live jazz, and come out and meet
Got
your
me hooked at
neighbors.
the live jazz and food. That's all I need.
Right, but
get
it's an
me there.
opportunity to come out and see what the community does, who's in your community.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that these community centers and some of these groups that kind of work with our younger citizens does is it makes people kind of get together. You know, parents have to come out and check it out. And, oh, I didn't know you lived. You're the guy I see at the bus. You're the one that I had lunch with. And then all of a sudden, you're festering this kind of community support for each other.
Right.
That's not there if we didn't have a garden party. If there
That's
wasn't, what's
correct.
that jazz? I hear Curtis Henderson singing down the street. I'm gonna go out and check that out. Is it Curtis? Is he gonna play?
I wish. I
I
wish.
bet you do.
I've known Curtis for a while. It also gives us an opportunity to meet our new neighbors because
Yes.
I've noticed in
Absolutely.
the neighborhood, all of a sudden we've got all these infants and toddlers now.
Yeah.
So we have new families that we need to introduce to
That's great.
their opportunities to support the young people.
Yvonne, you're somebody who's outside of the organizational structure of the building. You're kind of like a community person who is part of How is it affecting the community at large? How are people being benefited by what's going on at Hawthorne?
Well, not only am I part of the community, but I'm a participant at the Hawthorne House. I have been a volunteer in the past, but I am currently a participant. And one of the things that Marshall mentioned, or that you did, was the age range all the way to 85.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, the age range is to 91 because my mother and I participate in one of the programs at Hawthorne House.
Your mother was there. Say Happy Mother's Day, please.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, I'm really excited about the fact that my mother and I, as well as others who are part of an intergenerational group that clearly spans eight decades, participate in a program that's held at the Dudley Library that the Hawthorne House sponsors, called Celebrating African American History. The spirit of the 60s in spoken word and music. And so we as adults have an opportunity to work with young people, reviving that history that was part of the 60s, that was part of the civil rights movement, and writing new words and new music and new tones to that same experience. So we're very pleased to have Barbara Epps and Lisa Lee working with us as our instructors. So I'm a participant in the same way that the young people
Well,
are
speaking of
participants.
participants from another end of the spectrum, we have a room full of younger citizens who
Yes,
are part
we
of the
do.
program over there, and I think we should really get over there and check out what you've brought for us today. We're very, very proud of this. I'm actually going to watch this. This is never done. This is the part that drives David crazy. I'm going to get up and walk over there. Let me scoot on over here and let me come around the back here. Hi, how are you? Thank you.
How are you?
Good, thank you. Your name again is?
Alexis Platt.
Now, Alexis, you are the dance instructor?
Correct.
Tell me what kind of how many members are in the dance troupe? We have four
We
here
have 4
today.
here,
Yep.
but there's about 10 to 12.
10 to 12, and is it all kinds of dance or?
We mostly do hip hop dance.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now you're being the instructor. Okay, show me a couple of. No, I'm not
No,
going to
they're
do
here
that
to show
to
you.
you.
They're here to show you the moves.
I won't do that to her. I know that's mean, isn't it? Well, I want to thank you. Tell me, let's have some names. See who we have here with us.
We have Deanna, Zanea, Raven, and Grace.
Raven and I are old friends, you know. She's been over to my community, over to our Boys and Girls Club, and I hope she's coming back this summer. You don't know? You don't know. Well, we'll find out. Well, listen, I think we should be entertaining and celebrating these younger citizens. Yeah. So why don't we turn the stage over to them?
they're ready.
Are you cats ready? You guys all set? You ready? Okay, we're going to step out of here, okay? Listen, gang, this is the Hawthorne Community Center's Youth and Community. Say it for me.
Hawthorne Youth and Community
I
Center.
got it right. I was close. These are the dances. Does the team have a name, or is it just?
Not as specific.
Not at the, well, maybe we'll find a name for them tonight. Listen, gang, we're going to get out of the way. We shouldn't be here. It's all about them. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, but sit back and relax. You're going to really enjoy this. Take it, guys.
Bring the beat in. Honey, honey, I can see the stars all the way from here. Can't you see the glow on the window pane? I can feel the sun whenever you're near. Every time you touch me, I just melt away. Now everybody asks me why I'm smiling, I'm from ear to ear. But I know nothing's perfect, but it's worth it after fighting through my tears. And finally you put me first. This is Africa. Samina, mina, waka, waka, Samina, mina, sakarewa. This time for Africa. Listen to your your time to shine. Don't wait in line y vamos por todo.
With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that.
Yeah.
Well, give me all you got, don't hold it back.
Yeah.
Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine.
Yeah.
No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. Your love is
Ladies, thank you so much. That was great. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Get into position here. Now, come on in. Your name is?
Lisa Lee.
Lisa Lee, thank you so much for coming in. Tell me a little bit. That was fabulous, wasn't it?
That was fabulous. I wanted to come over here and cut a little move myself.
Tell me a little bit about what you do over at the center.
What I do is, my main thing that I do is motivate the children, and everything I do is geared toward building them up as people, but we do it through spoken word and written word.
Okay, so this is going to be a piece that's spoken word, and it's going to be, who wrote this?
This piece that we're about to do is by Langston Hughes.
Oh,
but
excellent.
We put a little flavoring on it.
Oh, well, I'm sure Langston
was already
appreciates
flavorful, but, you know.
I'm sure Langston appreciates it. So we've got some new performers here. Who we got here?
We have Michael here.
Hi, Michael.
We have Jacob right here, and we have Malik here, and we have Amir.
Hi,
right
Amir.
here.
Thank you guys for coming in.
Wonderful gentlemen.
They really are. Listen, this is going to be exciting. We don't get spoken word a lot. Listen, I want you guys to really let it out, okay? Let's hear what you got to say. All right? I'm going to put this back here. Okay, gang, sit back and relax. You're going to like this.
Yo, who are those people? My people. Yo, who are those people? My people. Yo, who are those people? We are the people. The people of the peace. Yo, who are those people? My people. Yo, who are those people? My people. Yo, who are those people? We are the people. The people of the peace.
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 The night is beautiful.
The night is beautiful.
So the faces of my people.
So the faces of my people.
The stars are beautiful.
The stars are beautiful.
So the eyes of my people.
So the eyes of my people.
Beautiful also is the sun.
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 Beautiful also are the souls of my people.
Beautiful also the souls of my people.
Beautiful also are the souls of my people.
Beautiful also the souls of my people.
Beautiful also are the souls of my peeps.
Beautiful also the souls of my peeps.
My people.
My people.
By Langston Hughes.
By Langston Hughes.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you
This
for
has been a
having us.
great, guys. Thank you very much for coming in and entertaining for us. Listen, gang, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Please do not go away. You are watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. This is what it's all about. It's all about this art right here. We'll be back in just a minute. Please do not go away. Thank you.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back. Wasn't that exciting?
That was so much fun.
I mean, that
Those
is.
kids were so cute.
They are.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
think that
the
it's
dance
real.
circle.
Yeah.
I want to get up in there.
I was gonna jump
I thought you were
in.
gonna, yeah.
You know, I think that that's part of the thing that BNN, I'm so proud of BNN for, is because it's definitely an opportunity for some of our younger citizens to do that. You could see the excitement in their faces when they got here. They were excited and they were like, oh, you know.
You get to be on TV.
Yeah. Well, when they walked in here, they were like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? But you could feel it. You could feel it that they had the excitement, and this is the seed that gets planted. You know. Yes. You mentioned, what were you mentioning? Not Earth Day, was it?
Earth Fest.
Earth Fest.
Yeah,
downtown.
have you ever been to that?
I don't think I have. No.
It's huge, yeah. I haven't looked at the
Is
weather.
this
but
out
I
in
hope
front of
it's
your
nice.
house too?
No. This is in the Hat Shell.
Oh.
And Neon Trees, which is a pretty big band, is going to be playing.
Oh, nice.
And it's free.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. We like free
Anything
things.
at the Hat Shell is great. I love going there.
Yeah, and
a
it's
super place.
the whole kind of greenway there, the Charles River Path. You know, everybody kind of sets up little booths and whatnot, and it's fun.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Any plans for the week? You doing anything exciting? I want to see this movie.
I know. Yeah.
The basket.
Yeah.
What's the name of the movie? You know, really
The Mission?
The Mission is the name of the
Mission,
movie.
no,
Okay, yeah.
Mission.
The Mission. Sounds like right.
Yeah.
But Brian that was
He's great.
Yeah, he is really great. I mean,
He's like a
was
historian.
Well, it was nice talking to him because you know I learned a whole bunch of stuff.
He knows a lot about Boston,
which is kind of neat. You know what we're going to do, because we have been so disruptive, and I do this all the time. I'm surprised David even speaks to me when I come into the studio. We're going to take a not because of the show, just because of I should prepare him better, and I don't, and I'm sorry. So publicly, I'm going to apologize to David, because David does a great job here, and if he wants to yell at anybody, it should be me.
He was like a maestro back there.
Oh, it's
during
amazing
that.
the job he does back there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you don't get a full appreciation of what happens here at BNN until you get to do some things with the staff. Yeah, you too. You do a good job too. Don't worry. I think you do a great job also. Listen, gang, thanks an awful lot for being here with us. We are going to break a little bit early. Hillary and the gang, thank you very much for the work you do tonight. We really appreciate it. Hawthorne, thank you for being here. Listen, I understand that is it true that the general manager of the station is going to be on the next show? This is a huge opportunity, guys. Write the telephone number down, 617-708-3290. If you want to chat with the guy who's in charge here. This doesn't happen very often. This is a great opportunity for you to do that. Curtis Henderson's going to be on the next show, on the Grief Show, which is really kind of neat. Listen, gang, thanks an awful lot for being here with us. Get out there, do something artful. Enjoy this weather, please. Go Bruins. I'll let you know next week what happened.
Yeah, let me know.
And please, keep in the forefront of your minds our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please, get out, do something artful, do it for them. Don't forget the garden party. It's coming up this weekend. It's going to be right in the middle of our community. We will be putting that on our website, so if you want to find out more information, you can go there and check it out. Listen, we'll dig you next time, okay, guys? Thanks. Bye-bye.